In Hollywood, you are either a patriot or you are a mercenary, right? I only like to work with patriots. I like working with people who are there because they believe in the thing that we are doing. Basically, I'm not going to ask anybody else to do any push-ups I'm not willing to do, right? So if I'm going to ask you to do push-ups, especially if it's my show, I'm responsible for the show. Generally speaking, if you're going to do push-ups, I'll do the push-ups with you, right? Like I need people to know that I'm not asking you to do anything that I won't do. And I'm not going to waste your time. Like we're doing this for the show, right? Now, the other thing is I started the show. I had like my youngest son was born during the pilot, during the shooting of the pilot of Burn Notice, right? So I had 3 little kids at home, right? So was I willing to stay up all night and do a script if I really needed to? Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, there were other young families on the show and stuff like that. And I was basically like, well, I'm not going to not see my children. And if not seeing children is a push-up that I'm not willing to do, I'm not asking anybody else to do it, right? And so that was also my attitude about Fraturdays or things like that on set. It was like, yeah, occasionally, like a really, really late night for Burn Notice was 1 or 2 in the morning on a Friday, right? We tried to not go past 12. You know, we would go sometimes into, but I want to say we did the classic dawn on Saturday thing maybe once that was like a hurricane hit. You know what I mean? And I guess like my attitude about all of that is just like my family is a priority to me, and I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do. And I would say a corollary to that is, just to put my cards on the table, right? It is also important to me to know that someone is willing to bang it out when it's really necessary, because like I will never ask you to do it if it's not really necessary, right? But I guess here's the best way to put it. And I talked to the showrunner training program about that, about this idea. In Hollywood, you are either a patriot or you are a mercenary, right? I only like to work with patriots. I like working with people who are there because they believe in the thing that we are doing, right? Now, patriots there are great mercenaries out there who do great work for pay, right? And that's fine. Like I've worked with great mercenaries before, and I don't have a problem with a great mercenary. But fundamentally, like I want to be in a show with a group of people that really believes in the show, where everybody's doing it because they believe in the show. And those people are the people that you want with you when the chips are down, when you're in the foxhole, et cetera. You can ask them to go further than the mercenaries, right? Like they will battle to the last man when it really matters. They will do the job when it really matters. But you don't get to ask them, you don't get to change the terms, right? Basically, if you're doing it for love, if I'm calling you my brother, I better treat you like my brother. Does that make sense? Like I don't get to be like, you're my brother. Oh, actually now I'm paying you and you're doing this for money. Okay, now you're my brother again. Like you don't get to do that, right? And so my feeling in general is you get to do one or the other. Either you say to people, yep, this is one of those shows where you're selling your soul and blah, blah, blah. And you're going to do whatever I say. I'm going to pay you a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. And if that's the case, people should know that up front. Like, I don't like those jobs. I don't like working that way. But, if you know that up front, I guess, I don't know, like that's their business. I don't like running my business that way.